what's your goal?
Yeah.
Where is it that you want to go? Really analyze all the people around you, all the things that you're doing. Are they slightly getting you closer to that? Or are they holding you back?
If you're hanging around 5 potheads, you're going to be the 6th pothead.
Yeah.
If you're hanging around 5 millionaires, you're going to be the 6th millionaire.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to Focus. We're here every single Monday, guys, right? My name is Louis.
And my name is Jacob Rodriguez.
We are both entrepreneurs. I have my own videography company. I also scaled a fitness page all the way up to 100,000 followers.
Yeah, and I run Mexican restaurants that do over 8 figures yearly.
Your network is your net worth. And this is a very important topic to talk about because a lot of people surround themselves with people who aren't really pushing them to the next level. And it's very important for you to surround yourself with people who have a very driven mindset, and most importantly, that want to get to a higher level or just want to get somewhere in life.
Upgrade their life.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, in any way. And by any means, I'm not saying delete your friends, right? Delete the people who you're talking to or anything, but limit your time around certain people so that you could start to put your mind through this process of moving forward. You always want to move forward. I was in a position a couple years ago where, I had a couple friends of mine who I had a lot of fun. I'm not going to lie. I had a lot of fun. We went out, we drank, we weren't doing a lot of bad stuff. We weren't making a lot of good decisions.
Yeah.
But 9 years went by and you kind of sit down and analyze. It's like, wow, I didn't really go down or I didn't really go up. I was just kind of
Stay the same.
I was plateauing.
Yeah.
And that's something that you don't want to do. That's comfort zone. That's the zone that you don't want to be in. You want to put yourself in an uncomfortable situation in order to, to grow.
Yeah. I think Luis said it really well. It's like, oh, you guys don't have to cut off your friends, and automatically. A lot of people promote that. It's like, oh, cut off your friends, stop ignoring them, blah blah blah. And these might be people you've hung around your whole life, and the worst thing you could do is just cut them off just like that. What you really need to do is kind of expand your network. Who are you meeting? Who are you hanging around with? And then if you really see someone's having a negative impact on your life, what do you do from there? Do you cut them off, or do you communicate them? I don't like this type of stuff. I don't want to be involved with any of the things that you do, and then see what you do go forward. Give them the opportunity to fix their mistakes.
Yeah.
If they even see it as a mistake. If they don't see it as a mistake, I mean, it's a lost cause.
I feel like a lot of people, well, you guys, I don't know who's watching this video, but you don't clearly know what a negative is when it comes to people.
Yeah.
Like they don't know, oh, this is bad for me. They don't know how to determine what is good or what is bad. Because like I said earlier, I was hanging out with my friends for 9 years. And to me, that was all good.
Yeah.
I was
and
having
you don't
fun.
see it negatively at the moment, right?
Yeah.
Until you actually analyze what's going on in your life.
Exactly. Yeah. You just
Are you completing your goals? Are you reaching the levels that you want to reach?
Exactly.
Oh, I'm not. Why is that? Oh, it's because I'm not doing the things that I have to do, and these people are kind of limiting me to succeed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So in order to fix that, if you're having doubts about that as to am I going forward or not, just you gotta really, what's your goal?
Yeah.
Where is it that you want to go? And really analyze all the people around you, all the things that you're doing. Are they slightly getting you closer to that? Or are they holding you back? And that's the decision that you have to make. And it's a tough decision.
I think something that's really helped me in that way. It's because I've always been someone that's very. I've never been someone that's really been outgoing or someone who's really liked to meet new people or talk to new people. It's always been the other way around. I've been more reserved to myself. Would rather keep to myself. Blah blah blah. But I kind of had the great opportunity of having a mentor, and my mentor taught me get to know as many people as you need to. And I kind of grew up in this way of okay, one side of my family was okay, super, reserve, stay to yourself, stick with the family, don't do anything else. And then my other side of the family is very outgoing. So the way is okay, you know what? I got to meet as much people as I want. I gotta connect with as many people as I can. and that's going to open up the doors for me.
No, yeah,
And so I
absolutely.
kind of seen, how do I balance those two situations? Like, it's good to be reserved in some situations. It's also good to be outgoing in other situations. And how do I force myself to get out of my comfort zone for it to benefit me in the future and make those connections? And I think the reason we want to do this episode is because yesterday we attended an event for the Restaurant Association, Connecticut Restaurant Association. And it was Luis's first time, but it was my second time. And, it was kind of mind blowing how the situation was last night and last year for me, specifically because you get all the restaurateurs in the state in one room with specific vendors and people like who are pretty big in the industry, and you get to connect. It's a networking event.
Yeah.
And so it was great to like meet so many great people that have done so many great things. And with that, I was able to secure a meeting with the restaurateur of the year last year. So he's like has a bunch of restaurants all over the state of Connecticut, and he was like, "Would you be able to have a meeting with me? Ask you a couple of questions about what you're doing. What are your opinions on certain situations?" And he's like, "Yeah, 100%. I'd love to."
That's dope.
And so it's
love
sick,
that.
And
Yeah.
I was also able to get people's phone numbers and connect with people to do future projects, and I think that's huge. I met one of the biggest restaurant designers in the world. He was at the event last night,
Yeah, I know what you're
and
talking about,
I saw him in the elevator by chance this morning too, and I was able to connect with him and talk to him more profoundly and make that connection. And so that opens up the doors in the future. If I want to do a server project, I know a guy
Yeah.
who knows a guy,
Yeah.
and that's great. That's what I love. And so the one motto that the Italians say is, I know a guy. They know a guy for
Yeah.
everything. And I think it's huge to know somebody for everything.
Yeah, and no, it's super important, and it actually boosts it puts you on a different level, because the more value you could provide, not just for yourself but the people around you, the more higher you're gonna be in terms
Yeah.
of level, like in the event, bro. There's all types of
Such a
levels.
benefit, It's like one of the things that I do profoundly in my business. It's like, okay, I'll get a quote from many people. So one quote might cost me $5,000 to do a job. Then I'll ask somebody else. Oh, that quote, he's charging me $6,000.
Oh, that's
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna ask for another quote, $3,000. So now I have so many options that I can see, what is it that I really want, and then what am I gonna spend money on, compared to just being a reserved person and be like, oh, this guy offered me $5,000. I guess $5,000 is the best I could do. When it's not really like that, you have to go around window shopping, like they say, and see what you could really get.
If you're a person who doesn't really are not good with people, or what's it called, an extrovert.
Yeah, extroverted person.
If you're an extrovert and you really want to get out of that little bubble, what I did, because during COVID, I don't know what happened, but during COVID, I got into this bubble, and it was difficult to get out of. But the way I forced myself was I put myself in situations where I had to talk to people, and that's when I chose to be a bartender.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be a bartender. I'm gonna be more comfortable around people, and at the same time, I was gonna meet new people and network with new people.
Yeah.
And if you
And look at where you are now because of that bartending job.
exactly, that decision brought me here. So if you really want to get out of that level, put yourself, force yourself
Yeah.
to talk to people. Go apply for a server position, apply for a bartender position, apply for sales. Sales is
job.
huge.
A sales
Yeah.
job is huge.
Sales is
Anything
huge.
you do with sales, I
Yeah.
mean, that kind of forces you to become an extroverted person and really get the benefits of it. I think the sales job is the best job. And some people say, I love watching TikToks, and then people are like, oh, if you're in sales and you don't sell, you don't deserve to eat. And so I love
I know
seeing
it.
that because, okay,
Because it's all commission, right?
it's all commission
yeah.
based. So it's like the same thing in the restaurant. If you're a server or bartender, it's all commission based. It's really how much do you sell,
Yeah.
and then how much do you make off of that. And so I think that's huge. I think that's huge because it's true. If you really don't sell anything and don't sell, an experience, don't sell the food, whatever you're offering, do you really deserve to get the benefits of it, which is
Yeah.
money? And so a lot of people are very comfortable in a salary position and then kind of not growing from there when, sales is when you make the most money.
Exactly.
And if you want to grow and, expand your business or whatever, it's all sales. It's all sales, it's all negotiating. And I mean, one of the things that's going to help you make more money is knowing more people. And so that's definitely helped me in my life here in the business, running 8 restaurants around the state of Connecticut. And I think I'm never gonna stop meeting people. That's something I'm never gonna stop doing.
And here's a big golden nugget, because once you start meeting people, I say the next step is to you got to provide something of value. Because if you don't have something strong that you could give to them, then there's no reason for them to keep you around. Like, it's the reality. It's like me. I'm a videographer. I'll make you famous.
Yeah.
So the big businesses would want to keep somebody like me around because it's an equal exchange. Boom, you're doing something very big for me. You're marketing my company. You're putting myself out there. You're getting me views. You're making me more money. And then in exchange, I guess, for money. And
Yeah, I think that's great because I think Luis at the event he kind of saw it. A lot of people look at you and then they're like, "Who is this guy?"
Yeah.
And then I had a lot of friends of mine in the industry. They're like, "Hey, Jacob, how are you doing?" And so they tell their friend, "Oh, Puerto Vallarta." Like, "Oh my God, that's Jacob Puerto Vallarta."
Yeah.
And so you make those connections because a lot of people judge you for what you have and not who you are. And I really like to make the connection of who I am with everybody instead of what I have. And it's sad in this world. People are gonna treat you differently for what you have and not what you are.
is it really sad, though? Think about it.
It's a reality. It's a reality. Either whether you like it
Yeah.
or not, I think people should not judge people for what they have. It's for the person they are. But unfortunately, in this world, it is like that. People will treat you differently if they know you're doing better in life.
So people would judge you for working hard. So
Yeah.
that's crazy.
It both ways around.
Yeah.
If your network right now is people that are, your same friend group from your whole life, but they're really not doing anything with their life, they're gonna judge you for working hard. And then the other way around, if you have friends that are doing so much better than you, they're gonna judge you for not working as hard.
Yeah.
And so that's why I think you have to switch and you have to really analyze and audit your friend group, audit your living situation, and be like, is this what I want? Do I want to be living at my mom's house for the rest of my life and not have a car under my name, or not be able to travel and go on a vacation and spend $10,000, $100,000,
Yeah.
compared to I want to be able to do all those things. And so I think you really have to analyze and audit yourself and be like, how am I going to force myself to change? And I think the restaurant also helped me become more extroverted to be able to get that network that I have now. And so if you go on my phone right now, I'll be scrolling for years with all the contacts I have on my phone. And so I have a guy for plumbing, I have a guy for HVAC, the AC, I have food distributors, I have paper distributors, I have everybody on my phone. And so I think that's great to have those type of connections, and that honestly that sets you up for greatness for the rest of your life.
Absolutely. Yeah. You're kind of crippling yourself if you're not really networking, because one day you're going to need something, or you're going to want to get to places, and it's going to be you. You're like, I hear this quote all the time, right? You could go by yourself in life, but you're going to get destroyed because you're competing against teams, and teams out here, they're killing it. They're killing it. They're making the money. 5 brains is better than 1 brain.
100%.
And yeah,
There's a huge saying like that as well. It says, if you're hanging around, drug addicts, and say or potheads, let's just say potheads, you're hanging around 5 potheads, you're gonna be the 6th pothead.
yeah.
You're
Exactly.
hanging around 5 millionaires, you're gonna be the 6th millionaire.
You're going to be the
And
sixth
so you
one.
have to
Yeah.
think about it that way. Honestly, it might sound cliche, but it's true. You have to really surround yourself with greatness, surround yourself with people with the same mentality. That's why it
Yeah.
resonates so well with Luis, because we have the same mentality with so many things. And so we want to achieve greatness, and we're already doing it. We're already showing it in our day-to-day lives. But how do we go? We want to be bigger. We want to grow even bigger.
Yeah.
And we want to succeed in more things and open many more companies. How do we get there? And so I think that's why a network and a good friend group kind of helps you get to that level.
Yeah, unlock different parts of life that you didn't know existed, and that's when, boom, you're making $1 million a month.
Yeah. Just like that.
Just like that. Bro, there's people making $1 million in Dubai a day.
A day. I mean,
This
not
isn't-
even in Dubai, everywhere in the world. So I
Yeah.
think, it's great. Luckily, I had a great advantage in my life. I was able to go to a great school when I was younger, and that kind of opened up my doors to so many other situations. So one of my friends, his dad is the president of Travelers, one of the biggest insurance companies in the world. And then one of my other friends, his dad's the chief of police of a specific town here in Connecticut. So, having those connections kind of open up the doors for you in so many things. And so
Yeah.
like, oh, with my friend, with the chief of police, I contacted his dad and I'm like, hey, I would love to do a fundraiser for you guys and, raise some money for the police chiefs. And so with that, they promoted it as well. And I brought so many more guests, new guests to the restaurant to promote the police, but also to promote my business.
There's the equal exchange. You give something, you get something.
Exactly, and that's
Boom.
life. You can't just take. You have to give something as well,
Exactly.
and then if you can't just ask without giving anything either. So you have to
Yeah.
do this. It goes both ways. You have to treat others the way you want to be treated, and that was kind of the golden rule that I had growing up: is treat others the way you want to be treated. And so, if I want someone to treat me properly, correctly, I have to treat them properly, correctly. It resonate with them.
100%. And you know what, guys? If you truly want to better your life and meet people of high quality and get to different stages in your life, you have to become that person. You have to be exactly what they are. You got to put in the
Not
work.
exactly,
Well-
not exactly like them, but take
well-
the good attributes and take them for yourselves.
Well, like, okay, like personally me, right? Or even you. You're working every single day. There's no excuse for you.
Yeah.
That's one thing that if you want to find people like you, you have to do.
Yeah.
Because if you're not putting the equal amount of work as he's putting, and you're not putting you're not changing, like gym, reading books, learning new skills, that's one way. Like, you literally have to become that person in order to
Yeah.
meet new people. I don't know if
I
that's
think
making
something
sense.
that I do in my life is kind of I learn something from everybody, and like I try to take the positive of everybody and kind of leave the negative behind. And I think that's
Yeah.
something that you really have to do as well. Analyze, what your favorite CEO does. What does he do properly, and then kind of look at this business and see what does he do negatively, and then kind of be like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna do what he's doing positively, and I'm not gonna do what he's doing negatively, and that's how you get the big boom.
Yeah.
One thing that Apple did, Steve Jobs, he saw the phones back then, the BlackBerry, he had all these the flip phones, whatever they had back then, and he made a nice phone. He made something that's higher quality, more presentable, it's nice to the eyes, and Apple's the biggest company in the world now. How do they do that? So he looked at all the negatives from all the other companies, compared that, made his own thing, and blew it up.
Yeah. But that's through a business perspective.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like in just you,
Yeah.
it's like more of a manifestation thing.
Yeah. And so honestly, just kind of like I said earlier, analyze who you're hanging around with, who you want to be with, and then kind of, go from there. And I think one thing you should never be scared of is meeting more people, meeting new people, and
No.
connecting with new people. I think that's something that kind of scares a lot of people, but you have to force yourself to get uncomfortable, because the uncomfortable will become eventually you're comfortable, and that's what's going to help you grow in life.
I heard this little like saying, this guy was saying, for a bodybuilder to get to that physique, he has to eat a certain way, train a certain way, sleep a certain way. Same with life, same with business. For you to make a lot of money, we got to sleep a certain way. We got to work a certain way. We got to be very analytical, learn in order to get to this. So it's a process that you have to put yourself through in order to get to where you want,
To go to the next level.
to get to the next level. Yeah.
Honestly, I do it in the business all the time. I surround myself with other restaurateurs, and I try to be no filter, because my mentor is no filter. He
What
will
do you mean by no
ask,
filter?
ask whatever you want.
Oh, okay.
Don't be afraid to ask
Gotcha.
anything. And so you know what? I kind of learned that. I'm like, what do I lose by asking them?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever doubt I have. I connected with this restaurateur here in Westport, and he's like, how much do you do in sales? And so,
He told you or you told
he
him?
asked me.
Oh, okay.
And so I'm like, what the fuck? This is like a weird question. Like, it's
Yeah.
very personal. But, I'm like, oh, I did this much. He's like, oh. I'm like, how much do you do in sales? Oh, I did this much. And so it's like, wow, like it's really that easy to find out how much someone is doing, how
Yeah.
well someone is doing. And so this guy owns a small spot in Westport, but he does $7 million in sales yearly. Small place.
Yeah.
Small. Probably the size of like half my dining room.
Really?
And he kills it.
What does he do?
Kills it.
What is it?
Steakhouse.
Oh, is that the guy? That's not the guy in Miami, is it?
No. Here in Connecticut,
Oh,
Westport.
okay.
Yeah. And so he kills it completely like that. But I'm like, dude, this guy just asked me that, and I'm like, that's such a, in quotes, unprofessional thing to ask.
Yeah.
But why is it unprofessional? It's not unprofessional. It's just a comment. It's just a random question. And so it's like, you know what? Why am I not the same way? So when I go to other restaurants, I ask them, how much staff do you have? Or how do you guys do this type of thing? When I go to my favorite restaurants, I ask them, okay, so how do you guys really, how do you guys measure how well a server's doing? It's like, oh, okay. And I go to a place in Manhattan, they're like, oh, the worst server, minimum per day, they have to sell $7,000. And I'm like, holy shit, $7,000 is a lot for Connecticut numbers, at least.
One server.
One server has to do that.
Jesus.
So I'm like,
Man,
wow.
that's a lot.
That's really next level, but they're obviously a high-end restaurant, so it's very attainable.
Gotcha.
But you think about it, it's like, okay, but I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I see 7 servers here. You're telling me they do $50,000 every single night?
Wow.
And so it's like they probably do a little less, honestly, but still it's like that's unfathomable, especially on a weekday. And so it's like, okay, how do I measure it inside my business? I measure it by reviews. I measure it by sales. I measure it by attitude. And so I measure those types of things to be able to evaluate my staff that I have to be able to grow. But I would have never known that if I never asked. And so I think that's why it's so important for you to have no filter and just ask. Whatever you have, ask. If they say no, they say no. They always say the worst they can say is no. And honestly, it's the truth. The worst they can say is like, I'm not going to tell you that.
Yeah.
But I've never had a situation where someone's like, I'm not going to tell you that. They always tell me whatever I ask them. And so they always answer whatever I ask them. And obviously, you're not going to ask something very personal, how big is your cock?
What just happened, bro? We just took a whole 360.
You're never gonna.
How big is that thing?
You're never gonna ask something so personal like that.
You threw me so off guard.
I know. But it's like obviously you're gonna ask something that's related to what your business is related to, and kind of do that, So it's just obviously have common sense. I think one of the things you need to really have in your business to succeed is common sense. And that's something that you think people have, but they don't have. They don't have common sense. And so you have to be able to read the room, read the people that are around you, and then kind of ask the appropriate questions in this specific situation.
Okay. I love that. I think that we tackled a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I think this is good. I mean, please, you guys, I really put a lot of emphasis on you guys commenting on our videos to see any more questions you guys have. We would love to talk about new talking points, doubts that you guys have on a daily basis. This is episode number 15. Yeah, we're not stopping. We're not stopping anytime soon. No, and these are secrets in the industry that no one else is going to tell you. So this is why you have to follow us, subscribe to us, and really kind of ask whatever you guys need. Whatever you guys have a doubt on, ask us, and we'll answer it in the next video.
Yeah, and we have plans on bringing people on the show now.
You bought the new mic?
Yeah, we got everything.
Oh, we got a new mic, so we're ready. We're gonna start expanding it with other people. We have a girl from eyelash company. She wants to do a podcast. Yeah. We have a chef that we're gonna do a podcast with in next month. And so, we're already planning on these big things. So might as well take advantage of you guys right now and kind of ask the questions that you guys have.
No, so it's important to drop a comment, guys, because you guys could ask questions for future entrepreneurs or just us or a specific video that you guys want us to make on. But your net worth is your network. Be careful about the people around you.
Your network is your net worth.
Did I say it backwards?
Yeah,
I was afraid I was going to. But be very analytical with the people around you guys and really decide, is this the life that you want? Yeah. Is the entrepreneur life you want? Do you want to be making a shit ton of money every single month? Or do you want to be average and stay behind? Really pay attention to the people around you, because that's going to determine if you're going to go through the average life or to the best life, right?
Yeah. But this is something that we're living through every single day in our life. Yeah. We're living through Luis growing his social media. We're living through me growing my 8 businesses and growing it even bigger. So please, we want you guys here through the process. And thank you guys if you guys are joining us in the process. And this is going to open up the doors for, countless opportunities.
Yeah. So with that being said, guys, thank you for watching. We will see you on episode number 16. Remember that every single Monday we are dropping an episode. With that being said, stay focused. We'll see you on the next one.
Peace.